away from fossil fuels, or we'll pass a temperature tipping point that will lead to an unlivable world for our children. So last year, a Green New Deal resolution was proposed in Congress. As far as I know, that's the first and only resolution that's provided goals that would actually transition our economy to renewable energy at the speed necessary to save lives and to save our planet. But though you campaigned on climate action as a Democrat, you've refused to endorse the Green New Deal. In a letter last year to me, you stated, "I want to see Iowa lead the world on reducing emissions, but we need to determine what is realistic over the next 10 years. We must address climate change through offering incentives and policy changes, but not unrealistic expectations." So Congresswoman Axne, we have no choice but to act rapidly and to do our best to transition to renewable energy in the next decade. And to say this goal is unrealistic, for me, seems to resign ourselves to climate disaster. So I'm wondering if you'd commit to legislation that transitions the United States economy to 100% renewable energy in the next 10 to 15 years, if it provided things like a job guarantee for any displaced workers from that transition.
Yeah, first, thank you so much for that question, and I'm glad to see that the people that you're working with and other students are concerned with where we're going, and we absolutely need to address climate change. Listen, protecting our environment is one of the most important things that we need to be doing. As I mentioned earlier, I oversaw the Energy and Environment Plan for the state of Iowa. I work for the Department of Natural Resources. I am the person that composts in the middle of winter here in Iowa, and that's not an easy feat. We absolutely are working on issues out in DC right now. The Energy and Commerce Committee is working on a full-scale renewable energy plan that I believe we will have in front of us later this fall. So it would absolutely address the issues that you're talking about, moving us towards a clean, renewable energy economy in the next several years. And so that they're working on that plan. The speaker has put together a special task force on climate change, already moving towards, when I talk about real tangible ways that we can get things done, we're moving forward in that direction. I'm already talking with that team about battery storage. Right here in Iowa, we produce great wind. We also are 16th in the nation when it comes to the ability to produce solar. We haven't even tapped into that yet. But there is an infrastructure in this country right now that allows us to transfer that energy or to make sure that we can use it at times where we're not producing it. So one of the first things that select task force is working on is battery storage, and then the hope down the road is then smart grid technology to actually be able to move that energy around. So those are we are absolutely working. What I like to say, listen, I want us to get places. We also need to make sure it's in a way that we can get it done, and that it's a smart way. And we are working on those issues. So I'm behind any plan that actually has real solutions to get the job done. And I'll be looking forward to seeing what the Energy and Commerce Committee is putting forth. But I do want you to know that at any given point in time, we're working on those issues, even within the committees that I sit on. And you think, well, what do they have to do with it? Financial services. I wrote, we passed out of financial services a bill that would require large publicly traded companies to annually disclose the impact of climate change on their business. Because I think first and foremost, we need to know what impact we're having so that we can address it. Secondly, I believe that shareholders and customers should know about the products that they're purchasing or the services they're receiving, and support companies that they believe in their values. So we're passing bills like that all the time to put ownership on any industry that should help be responsible for addressing the issues. So we're actively working on these. I think part of the issue is that unfortunately, sometimes media doesn't report on just the hard work that gets done. We've passed 500 bills out of the House at this point. 500, folks. That's a lot. But you rarely hear about those. What you hear about is the latest tweet that happened with the president or people on either side, and then a big media sensation about those tweets. And in the meantime, I couldn't agree with you more. There are folks around this country wondering, well, what are we doing? But I charge our media, and we've got, fortunately, folks here right now, and I'm grateful for what they're doing because they're getting the real story. And so we are working on those issues. we absolutely understand how important it is. And I want to let you know the people on the task force are folks who have run energy companies, who have started those up from scratch, who have worked on these issues for their entire lifetimes. You couldn't get a better group of people to be addressing it.
So just to clarify, are you in support of transitioning away from fossil fuels in the next 15 years, 100%?
Oh, yeah, we need to transition away from fossil fuels, absolutely. And as a matter of fact, one of the issues that I've recently risen to the Office of Inspector General is to look at the EPA's waivers out of the renewable fuel standards, because we produce ethanol here, and those fossil fuel companies like Chevron and Exxon, who are multi-billion-dollar companies, who are profiting greatly, they've been waived out of having to purchase ethanol to blend into their fuel. So that's only putting money in the pockets of rich, wealthy shareholders in the fossil fuel industry and taking that money out of hardworking people right here in Iowa. So yeah, I absolutely want to see us move away from fossil fuels. It's not, we don't need to be there. We have ample opportunity to look at better ways to create energy and fuel in this country, and that's what we should be doing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.